What's up? I'm Swifty. This is Zorro, aka Z-Man these days, repping from Huddersfield. I'm from down south. Just wanted to speak a little bit about, we're at break mission right now, and wanted to speak about hiring judges for events. It's come to my attention, some promoters in local jams are kind of just hiring people with an opinion. Now this was brought to my attention, which I hadn't really noticed it, by Foggy, a friend of mine who reps Trinity, and he was saying when we go to jams, sometimes we're not really paying attention to who's judging and whether they're valid or not. And I'm seeing that a lot, that certain people are judging when really they're still competitive, and maybe they're not necessarily, just because they've got an opinion, should be judging. And I brought my man Zorro out here to speak on it as well, his opinion, because Zorro is a accomplished dancer, he's travelled the world, and yeah, just wanted to hear your thoughts on it, Z-Man.
Because I run events myself, I tend to this is my approach to when I do events. If I'm doing an event, I'll get someone locally that's known locally, that has represented and is known outside of that local scene, and has been invited to certain things and so forth, and obviously won things. Proof's in the pudding nowadays, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel, say, like, if you're specifically I hate to say like a certain genre within breaking, like powerhead and stylehead and so forth, but it's like I tend to be all round, but I ain't got really a power form, do you know what I mean? But in a sense of what I'm trying to say, be more all rounded though. But on the points of just really understanding what you're looking at, I kind of feel like there's a lot of people that are judging that mainly in a sense, like, yeah, they've repped in a couple of jams and they've done well, but really in a sense not really actually paid in the dues. Like, no disrespect to when I'm saying this either, do you know what I mean? Like, I was getting hit up to judge when I'd been breaking like 6 years, like, and that's when I couldn't even do any top rock. I'm really honest with you, I've just really started to dance in the last kind of 3-4 years, do you know what I mean? So even my dance is still evolving, and then, like, even though I'm here judging today, do you know what I mean? But yeah, back to my procedure of how I get people to judge. It's a thing of getting a local person that's kind of known outside of that scene, getting an international interest that is known for a specific thing. Like, for me personally, like, I really don't really like to use anybody that hasn't won anything, or hasn't got a rep, because I'm building their rep then by putting them on that judging panel. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you should be on that panel because of your rep, not to gain rep, if that makes any sense. Like, I did say something, I'll be really honest with you, I did say something about the R16 where the people who was on that judging panel, and I kind of felt like there should have been more people that was known on that panel for them specific things. Like, for me, Banner should have been on there for execution. You know, like, for me, like, I feel like back as from when I know K, like, you know, he could fucking hit them, he could fucking hit shit, do you know what I mean? And that's the execution side of breaking. But also at the same point, we could go into that all day long for me, but I can talk all day long about it. But personally, I kind of feel like that them judges wasn't right, and I said something about it. May have got a bit of flack from certain people, may have got hate from certain people, but that's my opinion on the situation, you know, like, and I just kind of feel like when you're dealing with things like R16, Red Bull BC1, all these types of big known events, there should be people that have got some hold on the international scene. Like, you know, there's kids that if you say Swift Rock, they're like, yo, shit, do you know what I mean? They know who he is, you know, regardless of how old he is, do you know what I mean? Like, I heard Swift Rock's name in my first 2 years of breaking through the guy who showed me, do you know what I mean? And then I heard names like Maurizio and certain names like that. But if you haven't got any rep outside of your local scene, do you know what I mean? Then it's not gonna. For me, you should be on that. You should be winning that jam to gain your rep, and then the next time it comes along, then you're gonna be on that panel. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, just don't want to stray too much off topic. But
do you think that maybe it would be a good idea to have, say, proved judges in the UK that you would say, yo, let's go to this guy or this guy because he knows what he's doing, he's seen it, he's watched?
The thing when it gets like that though, for me, it turns into too structured and too much of a business. Don't get me wrong, like there is people who deal with business when it comes to breaking. Like, yeah, money passes over the door. Yeah, it does turn into a business like that though. But I kind of feel like if there was just set people that was to judge in the UK, then I kind of feel like you'd just see the same people judging everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And it would, and then people would win more based off their opinions than actually anything else. And I kind of feel like getting different opinions up and down the UK is good. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like for me, like if there was accredited people, like for me, like I'd be going with P from Bad Taste. He's put a lot into his breaking over the years. Do you know what I mean? As a point of being just moving differently. Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah, it's not his traditional, the way people like to say traditional b-boys move. Do you know what I mean? But for me, he's created his own style over the years. Even as going as far as Jelly, when I'm talking back as far as like, where was it? It was a jam in Derby. It was Roller World in Derby.
It was Battle of Britain.
Battle of Britain. I'm talking Children of the Monkey Basket days. Yeah. Coming from that era of things, do you know what I mean? And Jelly's still here now, do you know what I mean? Like people kind of even forget these certain names, do you know what I mean? Because of how certain things roll now, do you know? Like I do understand you'll know people's names through the winning competitions, do you know what I mean? Like nowadays, but if you actually do go into the history of the UK scene, I kind of feel like there is already people within that scene that do hold a certain knowledge that can judge, but it's just because they're not the men of the moment or the crew of the moment, they don't really get seen that much, or even really get thought about.
Little Tim.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Little Tim, regardless to whatever his history is or whatever, he has been you say like a UK b-boy in the 90s and stuff like that, you know what I mean? There's people like that, you know, he knows what he's doing, do you know what I mean? So it's just, I just kind of feel like as well, like personally speaking, and I don't want to tread on no one's toes by saying this either, but I kind of feel like the kind of, there's a bit of a, I don't know, like this goes globally as well, like it's kind of a monopoly system, you could kind of say, of how things are running. Like, alright, you've got one guy that's going to hold R16, he's got all his friends on the judging panel. Like, for me, that's a monopoly. Like, that for me is just like giving your crew fame, do you know what I mean? In any respects of things, do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like for me with Sunday Roast, like I'll have myself on there because it's a concept that I thought about. It's my concept as I see it, even though it is kind of an addition to a 7 to Smoke thing, but there's more rounds involved in it. So because it actually is my concept, I sometimes want to put myself on the panel. But recently, with even the ones that I've done up and down, like now for what I'm doing over the summer and stuff, I'm not on the panel once, and I don't want to be on the panel. Do you know what I mean? Because the simple fact, I don't want nothing being like, you want to put in certain people for who you want there. Do you know what I mean? I don't even want that to be spoke about. Do you know what I mean? I want it to be impartial, like in myself. You know what I mean? But I have someone on the panel who represents me, who represents Sunday Roast. Do you know what I mean? I.e. being Candy or being Mouse. So people like that in a sense.
Again, people that have proved themselves internationally.
Yeah, and it's just like prove themselves internationally. It's like, regardless of what anybody may think on the UK scene, do you know what I mean? But Candy's done a thing, yo. Like,
if you don't know, then check your history, because even I know.
And yeah, so even when I didn't even know who she was,
you'd heard of her.
I knew who she was. I'd heard of her. Do you know what I mean? She was one of them. It was a 3-3. Like I knew from flipping on Brixton stage. You know what I mean? When
she won champs.
She won champs.
18, her and right, yeah.
I was speaking to Candy, didn't even know who she was. I knew who she was, and then I seen her move. I was like, oh, you're my girl.
Right.
So it was all kind of like
Repped,
you know through rep. Do you know what I mean? So you know through that. So I just kind of feel like, personally, like people with rep or specifically deal with that specific thing, like i.e. Top Rock. You know, like there's no point sending a power guy who's known for doing sick power on a Top Rock judging. Like that doesn't weigh up for me. On that, when you start to categorize breaking, when you start to put footwork, Top Rock, power, when you start putting it like that, and you don't have anybody who corresponds with that specific way of moving, that doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah.
When you get into that kind of technical thing, I think people need to do their homework. I think they're not doing their homework. Like, they're just grabbing, like you say, their pals.
And it's sometimes as well, don't get me wrong, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
It does make it easier, it does make it, and if you want to talk business, it makes it cheaper on your pocket.
Of course it does.
But at the same time, by doing that, you are only watering down your event, because then now you're not going to get the real heads. Like I know within experience of even knowing with even the bigger heads in the scene, do you know what I mean, that actually do travel and go internationally, do you know what I mean, that actually do work things, like I'm sorry, that actually do work internationally and so forth, and I mean like they get invited to places, that's what I mean by work, do you know what I mean, as a b-boy, but they're not prepared to go to these specific jams because they're like, yo, who's my man to judge me, do you know what I mean? So I understand that, but at the same time then it is trying to support that, but at the same time you just need to be comfortable with who is judging you, do you know what I mean? And if you're not comfortable with that, then you don't end up making it to the jam. It's, for me, that's how I see that.
You heard it here first, simple. So people that are organising
don't take my word as gold. This is
no,
just my
but don't
opinion,
take his
but,
word.
you know what
But
I mean?
this is
But
the fact. The fact is,
it's just my opinion on certain
yeah.
things.
The fact is, it's simple as this. Like, you know, we're the people that are in these jams. We're the ones that make your jam by coming to it and entering. So if you're going to run a jam, try and get valid people to judge, and you know, just be able to take a little bit of criticism back. If you say, yo, I don't feel that was that, take it for the next time. So anyway, peace out. This is Funk Stylers TV with your host Swifty and my man Z-Man from the judging panel. We'll see you at the next break mission. Peace.